Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
And so we're trying to organically grow on X
And Instagram.
And
we're seeing how difficult that is. Like, and then what you were saying about ChatGPT was
like, well, the first 60 days is going to be silent.
And if you stick with this for the next 5 or 6 years, then, you might get a couple hundred followers.
That's what he said.
Just do what you're doing.
But what was very telling was the way that he said that we were basically only showed to a few people.
Yeah, that's the thing that's weird is it's like they kind of decide who's going to see it and who's not going to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so what they do is, from what I understand, they've got this weird pool of accounts that your content gets shown to, and they only show it to a few people, and they see how people react to it right off the bat. And if people react to it strongly, then they go, okay, we'll show it to a larger pool.
Yeah.
So it's this very controlled growth, and they decide who grows.
Which is weird. Why can't everybody just see what you're putting out there?
Because the culture club is losing power, and social media is the people's power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Us being able to talk like this is going to dethrone the culture club.
Right. And so that's why they have to censor us. And, they say we have free speech, but actually it's free-ish speech.
It's free-ish speech. But what this episode is kind of touching on is, well, can you trust Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones? Because these people are being foisted. So did they just magically navigate the algorithms?
Right. So what made me start to kind of question this thing again was, I quit social media about a year ago. I just quit cold turkey. I just didn't want to be.
So did I.
I didn't want to be around it anymore. And
I quit a few years ago.
I told you I started reading books.
So smart.
Because I felt like it was such a time suck. Every morning I would check Instagram and I'd end up scrolling and watching stuff for an hour. And I'm like, and then I'd check it later in the day and I'm like, this is really not a good use of my time. And so I just quit it. I stopped doing it, never got on it again. And then I would just enjoy reading a book. If I had a little bit of free time, I would read a book. And I was happy doing that. I felt like it was a good way for my mind to relax.
Well, we've talked about how toxic social media is.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a echo chamber of just abuse and lies, and people, you kind of get into your bubble and just talk smack about people you hate.
Yeah, and you don't really know, we're figuring out most of the big ones are controlled opposition, so you don't really know what to believe or who to trust, and it's kind of weird. But we had to start getting back on social media because now we're we are really trying to push our podcast more because we feel like if we don't really actively try to push it, we're just not going to get the reach that we want. And we want people to hear us because we want people to know that there's people out there like them and join in our conversations. And
Totally.
We feel like we can change the world and we can help with the renaissance.
We totally can. And it's frustrating, but it's just an obstacle.
Yeah.
And the culture club's not all powerful, and they're not going to keep us from finding an audience.
No.
But we have to do it in this very grassroots, organic, and through sweat on our brow.
Yeah, lots
Whereas
of time.
Tucker Carlson just comes out and does an interview, and it's just millions of people get it thrown into their feed.
Well, they have a huge team. So this is
That's another thing too.
This is what brought my attention to this, and what I wanted to talk about in this episode was. So now, since I'm back on social media and trying to promote our stuff, I have to go on there every day. And so I started seeing some new accounts. Like, so since I quit like almost a year ago, now there's like some accounts I never saw before. And they're talking about all the stuff that we like to talk about, saying all the same things that we like to discuss. And they've got like 1 million followers, and I'm like, okay, I never saw this guy before. Like, I never saw him last year when I was on Instagram every day. I never saw this guy before either. Where
the Johnny-come-latelys.
They've just appeared out of nowhere with millions of followers. And what I started to notice was, so there's a few of these people, and then I start looking, more and more pop up, and they all kind of have the same, several of them have the same type of like format.
Graphics.
Same type of graphics, same type of format, like the same type of, basically like, you know how Hollywood comes out with like a blockbuster film, and then like they're talking about this like new blockbuster film that's going to come out,
and then a whole bunch of other movies just like it.
There's always a second one that's like exactly the same thing. It's
like have you ever seen Tombstone with Val Kilmer?
Yeah.
Well, right after that, Kevin Costner did Wider.
Yeah.
And it was like...
So that always happens. And then what I started to see, though, was like, so a lot of these people, these influencers, they're kind of using the same like storyline, and that made me think of Operation Mockingbird. Remember that?
Yep.
So Operation Mockingbird was the what they called the thing that they did with the media
in Cooties, when you look at the montage, and it would be all the talking heads, and they would not be saying the same idea. It'd be the same word verbatim.
Yeah, all the newscasters.
Because what does Satan tell him? Satan tells him, he goes,
stick to the script.
It's not stick to the script. No. Satan goes.
Well, I think he says that too.
He says that too, but this is what he says. He goes, don't take any creative license. Mm-hmm. You don't take any creative license.
No.
You say verbatim.
Verbatim.
Because what we talked about in Operation Mockingbird is there's keywords that walkers go,
They're like trigger words, I think, for brainwashing.
Walkers.
I actually really think that.
Totally. Like, remember what was the one? Bombshell.
Yeah.
They've talked about that's a loaded phrase, and people like walkers that are lulled into the walker state, when they hear bombshell, they go,
So yeah, they're Operation Mockingbird, like we've seen it. Everybody, all the news anchors are saying the exact same thing at the exact same time on every channel. And so it gets their message across. And I'm seeing this same thing happening on social media. I'm seeing all these big influencers saying the same kind of thing, and even using the same kind of format with their videos. And I started looking at this, and I'm thinking, this is not some like one guy sitting in his basement putting out these videos with all these like graphics and all this information. Like, this one guy is like doing all this investigative journalism and finding all of these detailed tidbits and information, and it's just one guy sitting in his basement and putting this together. No way. These people have a team of people working for them. They have a team of people doing now people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, we know that they have a team, and they don't try to hide that. Because,
but this guy, he comes off with the pretense of, I'm just a guy in my garage.
Well, the people on Instagram and like the other ones, they make it seem like there's just like some one guy that's just, I'm an entrepreneur, but I just happen to start speaking about politics, and like, here's all this detailed information, and here's, I've got all these graphics, and I'm editing these videos that come out every day.
Yeah.
And that's
a false pretense.
That's just not happening.
That's right. The other thing, too, is he has a team not only helping him create his content, he's an actor playing a role, but then they have a team that manages their social their social media presence.
Yeah, so they're not like spending an hour every morning like scrolling through Instagram and trying to like post and comment and do all the stuff that we're doing.
No.
They've got a team of people that do that for them, and it's probably all AI actually. Like,
it's all AI. And have
it.
you ever noticed, like, you'll look at one of their accounts and they'll follow like 9 people and have like 16 million followers.
Right.
So they didn't have to do any kind of organic growth.
No.
All they did was just get foisted on everybody, and everyone just followed it and liked it.
How do you get 1 million followers and you're only following 20 people?
You're a part of the culture club.
It doesn't make sense.
The culture club controls the media. And the media, the thing is the media doesn't completely control the internet.
Yeah.
But the media does control the distribution on the internet.
Right.
So that's what we're up against. And if they control the distribution, that's how they can control the opposition.
Yeah.
And that's how they can control people's minds.
Exactly.
And that's what it comes down to.
And if they can control people's minds, they can control people's actions and then
enslave them.
Yes, because then that controls reality, and then that
because what you can get to do, and this is all part of, that's why Brave New World is such a profound book. Because what it talks about is, okay, so once you can, so let's break that down. So you have the internet, and the internet is free, but distribution on the internet is tightly controlled by the party or by the culture club.
Yeah.
Then if they can control the distribution, they can control who you see, what you see. And then if that's all that you get to see, then they're going to control your mind and control your attitudes and control your opinions. And then once they have control of that, then they can tell you exactly how to behave as they close the digital prison in around you.
Exactly.
That's how it is.
And so, and they're so good at this too, because I've actually seen this happen several times where, you know, an influencer will be like talking a certain way. Like, perfect example was like, remember when Candace Owens was like noticing all the anomalies of the Charlie Kirk episode, but except how strange his wife was behaving.
That's right.
She just didn't notice that was strange at all. Well, a lot of her followers and listeners were calling her out on that, and they didn't like it. And then lo and behold, now all of a sudden she's like, oh, Erica Kirk's acting really weird, and she's like talking about that. So what they do is they know what people are talking about and what people are saying.
Right.
And I think there's like, you know, the Indian dudes and the
Indian dudes.
The AI is listening to that, and then they report back and tell them, okay, damage control. Now
here's what your audience is saying. It's kind of like, remember McDonald's started going, no, we have salads, and then we have the new burger. It's called the McDLT, and it's got lettuce and tomatoes on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they try to change their image in accordance with what the tastes are.
Yeah.
So that shows that Candace Owens doesn't stand for anything.
So then they incorporate what they hear into their narrative.
What happens when they contradict themselves? Then blue-pilled people can contradict themselves and go, well, Elon Musk was bad, but now he's good, but now he's bad.
Yeah. And Trump's a good guy, even though he did that Operation Warp Speed, and we didn't like that, but it's okay because he's good and he did it for a good reason.
You notice how the Epstein files, it's kind of like, you ever notice how somebody will go, oh, that's just a crow, but oh, look, that's a hawk. You know, that's so cool. So we have like these different opinions about things. So if someone will go like this, they'll say, oh my God, Deepak Chopra is so guilty with Epstein. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But then you go, but wait, Trump was measuring vaginas. And you go, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
That's all lies.
Deepak
Chopra is guilty, but Trump is not.
They only see the truth in the truth that they want to see.
Because it's a contradiction. Because the controlled opposition, they get you to believe that you have to trust me. Who else are you going to go with?
Yeah.
Because that's what Alex Jones will say. He'll be like, look, not only am I well endowed, and I've had sex with lots of women, but me and Trump and Elon are like in the way of these people coming at you. So the controlled opposition, they basically make you feel like, look, what are you going to do? There's no alternative. We are who you need.
Right.
That's kind of the messaging.
Yeah.
You know? And they're just like, don't worry, though. We're on your side.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
But I think for this episode, what we want to talk about is how the controlled opposition seems to kind of work in conjunction, kind of like Operation Mockingbird. So there seems to be kind of a common theme in their messaging. So what we were noticing was like we saw Tucker interviewing Mike Huckabee in Israel.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, dude, Tucker seems like the real deal Holyfield on that interview.
I know. And I was like, Firefly.
It's weird.
Are you okay?
But then you were like, I know. And Candace seems like she's on point these days too. And so I think exactly what you said, AI and Indian dudes, they give a full report to the controlled opposition team.
The headquarters.
And Satan goes, good, good, good. So now we talked about Satan.
Yeah.
So Satan in Geneva, he's got a big headquarters there. And so there's the DARPA wing.
Yeah.
There's 27 Club for Music. Good, good, good. And he's got Big Shawarma. Big Shawarma, how you guys doing? Good, good, good. You guys making stuff that makes people have lumps in their neck? Good. That's perfect.
We like side effects
Big
because then we can give them more big shawarma.
Good, good, good. And then what are some of his other
Hollywood.
departments? Hollywood, hey, how's it going? Hey, I know Weinstein, he's kind of out of the picture now, but we're still doing, we're shifting to like Netflix predictive programming, but good, good, good.
Education.
And then education, good. You're teaching kids like all this woke crap, but they can't even spell or like do rudimentary math. Good, good, good.
That's good. They're chopping off body parts.
Chopping
We
off
like
body
that.
parts. You want them
They're gonna
chopping off their penis.
They're going to go to Big Shawarma next.
Go to Big Shawarma. That's good. Good, good, good. And then we talked about sports.
Yeah.
Good. Sports division. You got the Olympics, opening ceremony, satanic ceremony. Good, good, good. You got women playing on the hockey team that are like probably dudes. So you guys keep up the good work. But now they have, okay, let's go check in with controlled opposition. Okay, Candace, Tucker, good, good, good. So look, people are kind of hip to what's going on with that country from 1948. They're totally
People
hip
are
to it.
catching on. It's getting harder to hide.
So what we're going to do is we're going to act like you guys are just really accurately addressing it. But basically what people are going to be told is, no, we just don't want to be racist towards any large group, and just individuals should just be held accountable for their behavior. Because that's kind of the takeaway.
Okay.
They don't want you to, even though all of those people from 1948 are like a block, and it's like, I'm in the tribe, bro.
Right.
Well, if you're in the tribe, bro, then you should be like, if you go carry out some evil deed on behalf of the tribe, the tribe should be held accountable.
Yeah.
It's not just you.
Yeah.
But we're being told by Tucker, I just, nobody is guilty because of a group that they're with. Well, you know, that's the wrong takeaway. At this point, I think the controlled opposition, that the reason that they're being used to come out and tell you, oh yeah, be careful of Islam, be careful of those people from 1948. Why are they doing that? Because then you're terrified and you're going, oh my God, these people are taking over. What am I going to do? I'm helpless. It's okay. Don't worry. We're in the arena fighting for you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
So that's kind of like that whole thing with Q and the white hats. Remember that
Yep.
whole thing? And it was like all these influencers were basically saying, just sit back and do nothing. Everything's under control. The white hats are under control.
They'd even kind of have an attitude
You
like,
know?
you're so dumb.
Yeah,
Duh. I can't believe you don't know.
Just don't do anything because it's all going to happen. It's just Sarah Nasera or whatever they were
Just
doing.
Sarah Nasara's coming. And then, you'll bring up somebody who's doing evil shit like Gavin Newsom. You'd be like, dude, Gavin's like trying to put like a driving tax on everybody. And he's like, dude, Gavin Newsom already got tried in a tribunal, found guilty, and executed down in Guantanamo. You don't know that? It's like, okay, well, who's that dude? That's his body double. Duh, it's his clone.
Why do we have to keep living
Why?
through a body
If he's already been...
We wanted to get rid of him.
Get rid of that dude.
We don't need the body
No,
double.
it's not the right time. In his perfect time, he's saving Israel for last. It's like, well, dude, and so he's going to let them just basically destroy my life and my family's life. Well, in this perfect time. So I think controlled opposition can tell you the truth because we've talked about how deceptive it is. It's truth, lies. So like even it could be the whole truth. and nothing but the truth on the surface. But people like Stu, it's a lie in that he's like, dude, I had a Facebook group and we were talking about, how pissed off we were about everything. And I had like 7 people I was talking to in there. I had like 7 followers. And I just said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm starting a podcast. We're going to war. And now I got 2 podcast studios in 2 different states. And I have millions of followers on several different platforms. And that's all organic. So that's the truth. But the lie is who you are and how you came to be.
And why would you lie about that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if we end up with 2 studios in 2 different states and
Love that.
millions of
South
followers,
Carolina and California.
Yeah. If we end up that way, we're not going to say that we just came out of this place overnight with like 7 listeners. We're going to be like, we worked really hard for, a
long time.
We'll tell the whole story.
Yeah.
No,
he just comes out and he's just got this huge following. And so he comes out and he tells all he does is talk about what's going on. And so it's actually informative. To listen to Stu, you can go find out exactly how much those people from 1948 rule over us.
So that's funny. Speaking of Stu, remember I told you my sort of epiphany about him was that maybe that was one of their ways of POGOing us, which was
that was right.
To anybody who listens to Stu, they're gonna be on the POGO list and round us up and exterminate us. Well, I have kind of an epiphany about the whole controlled opposition. I was thinking that maybe the whole thing is a big POGO operation where basically what they do is they see who you listen to and who you follow, and that's their way of rounding us up because they know like we're a certain type or whatever. Because on like my Instagram now it's like we're getting like all this like conspiracy theorists and like flat earth people all of this stuff like shoved to us because they think that's what we like. So we've been put in that category. What if that is a way of rounding up the dissidents and rounding up the people that
if they get absolute power, they're going to do that. And because now with Palantir and Real ID, how do we know that your social media behavior isn't incorporated into that and it's a social credit score?
It is.
So now, they don't just have your medical records. They also have what you're saying. And so when you go to the airport and you give them your ID, that black chick at the frickin' TSA, she's got all of your political leanings.
And there's like going to be a red flag that comes up and it's going to be like, ew, you're
It's probably a
score.
Theory. It's probably a score. Like from 0 to 100, like a yucca app.
Yeah.
Your score is like
low.
If you're under 50, you get yucca'd. And that means, excuse me, ma'am, can you come over here and we got to like do a full body cavity search.
And then you won't be able to get on your flight.
You don't get to get on your flight. And by the way, did you have meat with your nachos? It looks like you've exceeded your meat allocation for the year. I mean, that's the kind of control that they want to do.
Yeah.
And so I could totally see that because that's what that dude who was from that country from 1948, David Goldberg or whatever his name was. It's either David Goldberg or David Goldstein. Do you remember watching that video?
Yeah.
And it was like an audio. It wasn't even a video. It was just audio.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting killed right after, just like us. It was just like us. But he got killed right after it, and he said there was 2 different programs, remember?
Yeah.
There was Pyogo. What was the other one? Zephyr.
Zephyr, yes.
So Operation Pyogo was where they find out who you're engaging with on social media and build a profile on you. And then now you've been collected into that data set. And then Operation Zephyr is when they go round up and kill. So people. It's
like a 1-2 punch.
It's a 1-2 punch.
It's like the Pyogo comes first and then the Zephyr comes.
First you get Pyogo'd, then you get
Zephyred.
You get Zephyred right up the you-know-what.
Yeah.
So that is totally real. And that dude got killed for disclosing that. So that means it's real. He got anheshed. He got anheshed. He just got killed. Like, I can't remember exactly what happened. He, during the audio, he's like looking out his window and he's going, there's a weird van out there.
Oh my God.
It was gnarly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I think what we've kind of figured out is if somebody's got 1 million followers, that's sus. And if they're following 20 people and this person just sort of showed up like overnight practically.
Like Sean Ryan.
Yeah. If that's the case, they're controlled opposition.
They're controlled opposition. And people might go, but I totally agree with what they're saying. And you're smart to agree with what they're saying. Because I think what controlled opposition is trained to do is tell you the truth. They have to get your buy-in. Mm-hmm. But then once you buy in, then you're buying into the one lie.
Everything that they say.
Because the lie, even if they say truth, and it's all truth. You know, Alex Jones does that sometimes. I've listened to some Alex Jones segments that were just literally all the truth. Mm-hmm. And then you go, well, I mean, is that good? It's not good in that there's a false pretense of how they're coming to you. Mm-hmm. That's the falsehood. Mm-hmm. How they're coming to you. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to go through this weird algorithmic wall.
Exactly. So that's what we're up against. We're faced with... we've figured out that we have to jump through all of these like algorithm hoops. You know, like there's all these closed, locked doors of, you know, we can only reach so many people and nobody sees our stuff. And what we kind of have realized is that if you're just trying to do it grassroots, it's you're not going to get 1 million followers quickly.
No.
It's just not going to happen. And
you have to be realistic about how it's going to happen. As a matter of fact, we're in a journey of discovery right now.
Yeah.
To see if it's possible.
Yeah.
I've actually put forth the notion that we're all on Alligator Alcatraz. Mm-hmm. And you are in a prison. Mm-hmm. It's a free speech prison. You're not allowed. You can go say whatever you want, but it's not going to get distributed.
Gonna hear it.
You're not going to find an audience. So we're in a prison. But just like Clint Eastwood escaped from Alcatraz, we're going to escape from Alcatraz.
Yeah. Well, I had another epiphany that kind of maybe goes... It stems from this, but it might go off into this could maybe be a spin-off episode. You know how I was telling you how I quit the social media and I was reading books and stuff, and now I'm back on it because this is part of our job now to promote our podcast.
That's right.
And you said that we have to be doing it every day, which is true. Like, it's like you have to put out something every day in order to like stay in the algorithm and whatever. So it's almost like this, it's like training our behavior to touch this sick thing called social media every day. So we are being basically forced, if we want to do this and be part of it, we're forced to do this, to touch it every day.
That's right.
And is this a way of, like
corralling us,
manipulating our behavior and corralling us, like putting us into this social media world where, like we didn't even really want to be doing it, but
no,
it's to put us in there. We have to be in there every day. So what I've noticed, what ends up happening is I'm on there to try to like make our posts and make a couple comments and check people out and stuff. I end up scrolling and it is addictive, and I end up watching like video after video and just scrolling, and before I know it, it's been an hour. And I think it's a form of brainwashing, mind control, and behavioral control, and like social engineering. Totally.
And they enforce it because they're like, you're not going to make a living any other way.
Yeah.
So you come and play in our sandbox.
Well, even like we were talking about, this may be another episode too, but even remember I was telling you I saw one post where the lady was like looking for a job, and she's like, oh, I've tried LinkedIn and all these other things and putting my resume out there, and I didn't get any calls, but now I do AI apply.
Yeah.
So, and you were saying, everything has to be done AI now, like to even apply for a job.
Totally.
So it's kind of like if you want to be part of like the society, you have to like participate.
Totally like that. And now when you apply for a job, you can't just put on your resume where you've worked and, some skills that are applicable, you have to have it perfectly aligned with the algorithm. Otherwise, you won't even get in front of the recruiter. There'll be thousands of applicants online, and unless you've got all of the perfect keywords hit, you're not even going to get in front of the recruiter.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, because there's all this demand for jobs now, and there's so many people in this country that are just desperate for any kind of job. So it's now there's like I go on LinkedIn and a job will be posted for like 20 minutes and have 1,000 applicants.
Wow.
It's like crazy.
That's crazy.
So it's just, there's so much competition out there, and the way that they've sorted it is everything is algorithmically controlled. So we're all kind of slaves to the algorithm.
Yeah.
And that's why these Silicon Valley guys like Mark Zuckerberg, they kind of fashion themselves to be like slave masters and Caesars. Remember, he's like, I get my hair cut like a Roman. And so they actually love this.
Yeah, because they created this plantation that we're on.
Totally. They love being triple M's to the P, and they love controlling. Like triple M to the P, for those who are just tuning in, is a megalomaniac, a mini megalomaniac psychopath micromanager. And
they're all over the place.
They're all over the place. Larry Fink says, I'm going to drive behavior with financial instruments.
He's the megalomaniac.
He's the CEO of BlackRock. He's a megalomaniac, and he's a psychopath.
But so he's like the CEO of Earth.
He's the CEO of Earth.
But so then he tells like somebody directly below him what to do, and that person's a mini megalomaniac.
They're a mini megalomaniac psychopath.
And then that person tells the people below him, and before you know it, you're at Sephora, and the sales girl is telling you that you've already exceeded your sample allotment for the day.
That's right. And so she's become a micromanager.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's top-down micromanagement that is foundationally it's coming from megalomaniac psychopaths.
And what happens is it basically kind of turns all of the little minions that are following the orders into little mini megalomaniac psychopaths.
That's it. And that's what influencers are.
Yeah.
The influencers are mini megalomaniac psychopaths. And you know why? Because they're happy to play the game. And they're happy to go along with the slave masters.
So I think these guys that show up on Instagram with 1 million followers and they're following 20 people and they've got these like really well researched reports and, all these elaborate graphics and editing and everything else.
Everything looks so pro.
Yeah, I think they're given a script just like the newscasters on mainstream media, and they've got a whole team of people working behind them to put this out there to get messages across.
And so today's episode was that the messaging that they have is kind of like Mockingbird, Operation Mockingbird.
Yeah.
So they have marching orders, and they're in alignment with the other controlled opposition.
Right.
And I think right now the controlled opposition is kind of saying stuff like, yeah, no, you're right. The people from that country from 1948, they rule everything. Because they seem to be having to see what I noticed. That's why I keep doing our show, is because what we're saying gets out there, and it gets enough people talking about it that we'll see, even with the little bit of reach that we have, we'll see controlled opposition respond to our talking points.
Yeah. So, audience, we want to thank you for listening.
Please.
We thank you for listening, and if you like what you're hearing and it is relevant to you and you think that these conversations are important, share with a friend. Because like Firefly likes to say, we're like a good Chinese restaurant, and we don't have a big ad budget, and we don't do a lot of advertising or anything, but the word is it's spread word of mouth.
We serve really good food, and you'll have an awesome meal, and we just want you to tell other people, hey, I went to that new Chinese restaurant over there, and it's really good.
And the word gets out. It's word of mouth.
The other thing too is go to our social media. Go to our Rumble page and like us and follow us there. Go to our X and follow us.
And Instagram.
And our Instagram and follow us. We also are on Spotify. And we're on YouTube, but we get no views on YouTube.
No views on YouTube. That's
weird.
Super fishy.
That means
That's
like
so
no one
fishy.
sees us at all?
Like nobody except like my mom, I think.
And that's like...
It's weird.
That's only because they went and totally searched it out. So the algorithm
you
is
have
just...
to search it.
Well, because YouTube actually deleted one of our episodes.
Yeah.
That talked about Big Shawarma.
They didn't like what we said.
They love Big Shawarma.
Yeah.
You don't talk bad about Big Shawarma.
I think YouTube might be kind of like Nextdoor. They're like super commie.
Totally.
I got banned off of Nextdoor because I was, I guess, naughty.
Well, you said bad stuff about Scientologists, which you're not allowed to do.
I didn't even actually say anything bad. I just was like questioning like what was going on in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, like
You're going, there's a lot of people that are kind of commenting on how that weird, ugly, huge building in town is a Scientology building.
Yeah, I was like,
that's kind of weird.
I was like, have you noticed that when somebody comments about that building, they get like banned off of, and
Dude,
then I got banned for saying that.
now it's like they impose like legitimacy on Scientology, but back in the 80s, it was a joke.
It was a joke because it was developed by that guy L. Ron Hubbard. He was like a science fiction book writer.
Totally.
And not even like a successful one.
No.
And he created this religion. We're probably going to get totally banned for even talking about this.
Yeah, that's the thing. You get banned for talking about it, which means that that's a culture club thing because they like Scientology. Because Scientology is a cult and the culture club loves cults.
They do.
So anyhow, this episode, long and the short, what is white pill?
White pill.
So let's talk white pill.
Well, white pill is I think people should remind themselves to don't believe everything that these influencers are saying. I mean, I think you can get a lot of good information.
It's not what it seems.
It's not what it seems. Yeah.
That's it.
Realize that there's truth, lies. And
Candace sounds like she's on your side.
Yeah.
Alex Jones sounds like he's on your side, and Tucker too.
But all of these people, the ones that just sort of appear out of nowhere and they're like just coming up with all of this stuff. They're like, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm speaking about this political stuff and I have like 3 million followers. No, that's not organic.
It's not real.
That's not organic. These people they're sponsored and paid.
You gotta, and then once you have that discernment, you're gonna start to look at them with a critical eye, and eventually you're gonna discover the chink in their armor.
Yeah,
you're gonna see it, and you're gonna go, ugh.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be a German Shepherd moment.
German Shepherd moment.
That's what it is. It's when you go over to Nancy's house and she goes, "Just come over anytime. You guys just come on over. I love you.
Just walk on in anytime you need something."
And we're like playing Parcheesi. And so I go, you know what? I want to have some cookies, and we don't have any here. I'm going to just go see if Nancy has any cookies.
Oh, God.
And then I just go walk over there, and I just poke my head in, and I go, Nancy, are you here? And I don't hear anything, and I go, let me just walk in. She said to walk in. And I look over, and Nancy's on the couch, and her German Shepherd's going down on her.
Ew.
And you go, oh my God, Nancy, I'm sorry. And she's like, oh, no, stay. It's fine. Come on in. Rex is he's almost done. And you're like, no, it's okay. And then so now she wants to act like everything's just cool, but you've seen that.
You can't really.
It's a German Shepherd moment.
You can't go back from there. That's a German Shepherd moment.
That's a German Shepherd moment.
And
so
it's when somebody does something that just kind of changes your whole opinion of them.
Candace had one.
We've had a couple
Candace,
because I forgot about the first one, and then I had another one with her.
Alex Jones's one for me was when he came out and he talked about how well endowed he was for like 15 minutes. And then he talked about how many women he had. And then he talked about how sexually attractive he was. And then he talked about how him and Elon Musk and Trump were in the way of the Culture Club. Otherwise, they'd be killing me and my family. Oh. And I just went, dude, I can't even listen to you anymore, bro. What happened to you? I used to love Alex Jones.
I did too.
So that's what's weird about Alex. A lot of people think something weird happened with Alex.
He doesn't look the same.
Like he's a different dude.
It might be a clone or something. I don't know.
Was that an old episode? That one where he was talking to David Icke?
Yeah, that was an old episode.
How old was that?
Unless he like suddenly gained back all that weight he just recently lost.
Okay.
Because he was like fatter in that one. That's why I said that's an old one. But
so David Icke was pretty much saying, dude, you're going back to the whole two-party system. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
That was a tell.
Well, that's interesting. Maybe that's when he got cloned.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah.
Something happened.
We're kind of going off on a different track here. But yeah, Operation Controlled Mockingbird Influencer is real.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The gist of it is things aren't what they seem.
Things are not what they seem.
Is that where we're going to stop this one?
I think so.
Okay. Good talking to you.
You too.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.